Winston Churchill Limited Edition 2021. Make yourselves comfortable, pour a glass, cut your cigar, and we'll light up for another review here at Bespoke Unit. Hello and welcome to another cigar review here at Bespoke Unit. And it's another very special cigar, a limited edition from Winston Churchill and the House of Davidoff. It's the 2021 Limited. Sir Winston, as we all know, was an exceptional gentleman. And his personality had so many different facets and nuances. From the statesman to the commander, from the author, the painter, all those individual characteristics have been the inspiration for Davidoff's cigars in honor of Sir Winston to commemorate the exceptional gentleman that he was. And even the limited editions, they all have a theme, like the Raconteur back in the days, or the Traveler in 2019. In 2020, there was no limited edition, but in 21, here's the return of Winston Churchill Limiteds. This year, the cigar actually has a chess theme with the box proudly featuring the grid of a chessboard. And the cigars come in just one single vitola, which is a 6x52 Toro. The blend features an Ecuadorian wrapper. The binder is a Dominican Hybrid number 257, and the filler is Dominican Piloto Ligero, Dominican Hybrid 2020 Seco, a San Vicente Mejorado, also from the Dominican, of course, San Vicente Viso, and Esteli Viso from Nicaragua. All in all, there was a bit more than 11,000 boxes of these cigars manufactured, with each box carrying 10 cigars. As you would expect with a Winston Churchill limited edition, the box is quite ornate, prestigious, and looks glamorous. There's also a line of accessories with an ashtray and a few other little gems here. Now, when it comes to the tasting experience, the wrapper looks oily, glossy, sort of a walnut, milk chocolate brown, a few veins and seams that are detectable. The cigar feels rather soft in my hands, even though I didn't get a loose draw on the cold draw there. And I'm really looking forward to the technical performance and what it's going to reveal during the smoke. Other than that, the aromas of the wrapper and of the foot were earthy, woody, with a slight touch of a sweet cocoa, butter toffee, a little bit of nougat, bitter chocolate, and it was quite rich and complex even before lighting. Starting off with the first third here, the cigar is wonderfully mellow and creamy. With the first few puffs, I already sense the complexity, the depth, and the many facets that the cigar will bring to the table. There is some moss. It's a little ethereal and fresh as well. Pear, certainly a green walnut, a little bit of a rather classic musky Davidoff Dominican Republic style or underlying theme here. Pink grapefruit, a bit of lemon zest, and a rather soft, leathery connotation that rounds it all off. A little bit of brioche, crispy, caramelized with a smear of butter and some honey drizzled on top, all make for a very pleasant, very charming opening here in the first third. As always, when reviewing a cigar for Bespoke Unit, we smoke at least 3 of the samples. They all showed a lot of promise already in the first third and a wonderful evolution with the second and the third third. I kept the cigars in a Boveda acrylic humidor with 69% Boveda packs in order to guarantee that the quality and in particular the relative humidity of the cigars is on peak level and always perfect before lighting up. I also have to say that I detected quite a bit of evolution with the cigars, because from the first pre-release sample to the ones that I'm smoking right now, I could already sense that the cigars and the tobaccos were settling down quite a bit, and now the cigars feel very much at ease and ripe, on point, and exactly where they need to be. But as always with limited editions from Davidoff, they also show tremendous potential for further aging, and you should keep quite a few of them in your humidor, smoke them probably in a year's time, 2 years' time, and even further down the road. Make notes, because then it's easier for you to follow along with the journey and see how the cigar, or probably even your palate, will evolve over time. On another note, as always, I used Bespoke Unit's wonderful cigar formula that you can use for your own cigar reviews. We always put the filled out form underneath the video, and also a blank formula that you can download and use at home for all your cigar reviews. A wonderful tool to keep track of your personal perception, and a quantifiable review matrix that will give you reliable feedback time after time. Moving on to the second third. With all the samples that I smoked, there was a bit more spice, there was more oomph. I got a little bit of tarragon and a wonderful musky vinegar nuance. Also a little bit of a fresh mustard and sort of a grainy mustard. Some lovely kitchen herbs. I detected lovage. There was a little bit of parsley and also bay leaf for further complexity. Ripe Parmigiano is a very interesting note that I put down with quite a few of the reviews. I sensed some olibanum, vetiver, and still there was always a prominent underlying woodiness, creaminess, mellowness. So sort of an interesting combination of ethereal freshness, herbaceousness, but underneath there is this mellow body structure and the beautifully velvety mouthfeel of the rather rich and dense smoke that you would get off of the cigar. In the third, I always detected quite a bit of punch and quite a bit of nicotine strength from the cigar. Even though it starts fairly mild and towards the mild to medium range, when it comes to the final third, the cigar was definitely close to full and very rich, both in body and also in nicotine strength. The aromatic qualities reminded me of nougat, a bit of a dry spice rub, some ancho chili, bitter cocoa, and a mineral sea salt finish that gave a lot of length, depth, and richness to the overall experience. Another component that I detected was an aged grappa, the pomace character that you get from the grape skins and the kernels after pressing, which is also the base material for grappa or other pomace brandies. It is that mixture of a bit of fruitiness, a bit of spice, a bit of earthiness and funkiness, together with a leathery touch that makes for an interesting combination, no matter if it's in a distilled spirit or in the cigar. So overall, these limited edition smokes, they are superbly interesting, complex, and with every single puff you will detect a new layer, a new facet here and there. So it perfectly fits that theme of Winston Churchill and the complexity and bandwidth of his character. Besides the complexity, the cigar shows great length, wonderful evolution on the palate, and it's very harmonious. All the various elements are nicely interwoven. Davidoff, as you very well know, proudly states the overall stimulation of the palate, so all your taste buds are very much engaged in the perception of gustatory and olfactory here, and you will detect there's a lot for you to digest and a lot for you to perceive and sense off of this cigar. In terms of the overall presentation, as I very well told you in the beginning, the box is prestigious, so are the accessories, and I think the look of the two cigar rings here is beautiful with the classic Winston Churchill emblem in gold on the white label up front here, and then a secondary ring that just says Limited Edition 2021. The cigar is a hefty $32 per stick. As a matter of fact, it's an occasional cigar, and you will probably smoke these with special people for particular and very special occasions. When it comes to pairing recommendations, since I mentioned the pomace element and that aged grappa sensation, try that as a pairing. It's probably not your typical go-to cigar drink, but aged grappa can make for a delicious, delicious pairing, and in particular with this wonderful smoke here, it's an excellent combo for you to try. Other than that, a rather rich, deep white wine, probably Chardonnay with quite a bit of mellowness, quite a bit of gourmand flavors, and the creamy aftertaste would very well accompany the Winston Churchill Limited. And when it comes to non-alcoholic pairings, I'm a big fan of grapefruit juice or an apple and carrot juice with that. You could pour a few droplets of olive oil on top to give it some extra richness and just a little bit of added character. Furthermore, if you're looking for some snacks or finger food pairing, hummus with pita bread goes beautifully well with this cigar. Ripe Parmigiano, I also mentioned it as a tasting note before, would sit proudly and nicely along the cigar, or even something like a fresh sheep's milk cheese or cottage cheese would very well underline certain nuances of the cigar. For those of you with a sweeter palate, try some milk chocolate coated nuts. Final thoughts. I believe the Limited Edition 2021 is an excellent smoke. Yes, it's an occasional cigar. It comes with quite a hefty price tag, but it's definitely worth your money. Try some now whilst they're fresh and hot. Grab them whilst they're out there, but make sure you keep some of them in your humidor so you can go back in a year's or 2 years time and see how they've evolved and progressed over the months. That's it for today. I wish you a wonderful smoking experience and a wonderful Winston Churchill smoke with this year's limited edition. I'll see you next time here at Bespoke Unit for another cigar review. Until then, check out all our other cigar or spirits reviews on Bespoke Unit as well as our YouTube channel. Be safe, be healthy and well, and light 'em up. Goodbye.